Welcome back, everybody. It is Astrat Divine here, and we are here with the first part of a 10-part mini-series all about one of my favourite topics in the world. If you can't tell what it is from the title and from what's around me, Call of Duty Zombies. I am an addict to this game mode. I have played so much zombies through my time in gaming in general. It's probably the thing I spent most time in. Or maybe World of Warcraft, but it's a close second to zombies. Each mode I've spent hundreds of hours playing, learning, mastering, experiencing, and I've decided that throughout the course of the next year, I'm going to slowly release videos discussing these topics. We're going to start with this first video, which will be ranking every experience. Then we're going to launch into the retrospective looks, looking back at each of the individual games, their pros, their cons, what they were, why they were so good. And then to finish it all up in one big bow, Christmas video release date is set in stone. I'm saying it right here, right now. Hold it to me. We'll be ranking every single Call of Duty Zombies map in history, which is a big undertaking. There's a lot of maps for me to rank. I will say this right now: these will not include the brand new Call of Duty that are released later in the year. We're not factoring that into this little video series. They might come in later on down the line. I might do another one, but yeah. Anyway, we're going to start it off by going over ranking every single one of the Call of Duty Zombies experiences. And by what I mean by this is the game zombie mode that is included with it, including its DLC factored in as well. This will be a purely opinionated thing. I feel that I have the right to this opinion because of the amount I've played of the game. But it's my opinion, and I know mine's going to differ from a lot of your guys's, and my tastes are different to everyone else's. But I am a sucker for this game mode. The stuff you see in the background around me is just a small portion of the zombies merch I have lying around. I just chose to show this stuff off for now. I'm going to rotate it in and out for the videos, show off some more stuff for it later on. But I spent so much time, money in this mode that I feel it's finally time for me to address it and talk about it in depth. And that's what I want to do through this course of this little video series. So I hope you'll join me for the journey. This is probably going to be up in the personal favourites list, as it's something I've been really excited to start doing. And without further ado, let's stop with this slappy talk and get into the first video, which is ranking all the experiences. So there are currently 8 experiences as I'm making this video, which is early January 2020. We're not including whatever Treyarch releases further down the year, as I have no idea what it's going to be like, so I can't factor it in. So this is being based on criteria of maps, microtransactions, story, and my fucking general enjoyment. And that's the factor that mainly matters here. So, the worst zombies experience, by far, in my opinion, is Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Now, the bottom 3 were very hard for me to rank. However, it ended up coming down to generalization of what my opinion of the game was. Black Ops 3 has a load of maps. We have Shadows of Evil, The Giant, Horizon Draka, Zetsubou no Shima, Gorod Krovi, Revelations, and then we have Zombies Chronicles. Chronicles almost edged Black Ops 3 in its favour. However, I find Chronicles a cheap rip-off of the previous maps. And while it's fun to mess around on, it does not compare, and I do not feel that it is enough to save this game. Black Ops 3 has 2 very well done maps. Shadows of Evil, which is completely non-friendly to casual players, and Zetsubou no Shima. Not Zetsubou no Shima, sorry, and Horizon Draka, which is a really well done map. Compared to the other two, like the other 2 of the bottom 3, it doesn't measure up for me. And that's why it's down here. First of all, it has 3 hit down. I do not like 3 hit down in Treyarch experiences. In others, it kind of works because of how they're designed. In Treyarch, I do not like 3 hit down. I prefer 2 hit. I'm a sucker for challenge. Second, the Gobblegum system. You've heard it here, you've heard it again, and I know people still just don't use them. I didn't mind the Gobblegum system to start with. Like, Perkaholic was fine. It's when you added shit like near-death experience and shopping free that it broke the game, ruined Easter egg hunting, and it just wasn't fun anymore. And it ended up being a fucking pay-to-boost microtransaction thing to solve Easter eggs, which I hated. So, my mouth, I've got a sour taste from it, basically. I've got upwards of 100 hours easily on Black Ops 3 between my PlayStation and also my Xbox One that I played it on. I have played a lot of the game, and at the end of the day, I feel that it is without a doubt the worst zombies experience I've ever played. Coming in at number 7, and let's be real here, from this point up, none of them are bad. Black Ops 3 isn't even that bad, it's just the worst of the best. Number 7 is Call of Duty World at War. I really want to put this one higher. In fact, I've got it sitting out right here. I love World at War, I really do. But it doesn't really hold up in comparison to the rest of the modern day stuff, unfortunately. World at War is the first zombies experience we ever had from Call of Duty, launching with Nakhtar and Toten, followed by Verrückt, Shino Numa, and then finally the fan favourite, Der Riese. 4 awesome maps. Seriously terrific. I love them. However, World at War is clunky. It feels a bit outdated. The graphics don't really hold up. It's just because of the time period. And to be honest, if to be fair, I should put it below Black Ops 3. I should make it the worst because of that. However, I've had so much fun on World at War that I cannot, in good conscience, put it as the worst. I've had more fun on this game than I have ever in Black Ops 3. I have no idea my hour count on World at War. I know it's easily above the hundreds. I just don't know what it is because I didn't keep track back then, so I can't tell. But I adore it. I really do. World at War was a masterpiece. Really well done. And as a first outing into the experience, it set the groundwork for what is to come, and you can't fault it for that. Seriously, World at War is great. If you can get your hands on a copy of it, go ahead and do it. It's pretty easy to get it digitally. If you can get a physical copy like I have, I'd recommend it. It's way cooler to have one. Really good game. Awesome. Love it. Coming in at number 6 is one that might surprise a few people because of my opinions on the game, is Call of Duty Black Ops 4. That's right, baby. It actually didn't do terrible in my ranking. And let me tell you why. I fucking hate this game on many levels. I hate the Elixir system, which is basically the fucking Gobblegums, but worse, and costs more money to get the stuff. I hate what they did with the storyline. I felt that it just went downhill over and over. I hate how the gameplay felt in the maps. It was trash. However, I love the Chaos story. The Chaos story is incredible. Black Ops 4 has a large amount of maps on it. It has Voyage of Despair, 9, and Blood of the Dead launching, along with Classified as a bonus. Two of those maps were really good. One of them was okay, and one of them was absolute trash. The two that were pretty decent were 9 and Classified. Classified was actually a relatively well done remake. However, Voyage fell through a bit because of its complex design, making it unfriendly for new players, and Blood of the Dead was a fucking travesty that no one likes to talk about, and even still to this day, reaching upwards of around 30s can cause your game to crash. Don't believe me, go look at some people still streaming it and attempting to play the game. I watched a stream literally yesterday where it happened. I did a little bit of research for this one. Afterwards, we got a bunch of DLC maps, including Dead of the Night, which was an awesome take on the classic horror mansion werewolf thing. I loved Dead of the Night. Followed by Ancient Evil. Holy shit, my third favourite map of all time. I loved Ancient Evil. Then we went downhill into Alpha Omega, and finally, the shortest of them all, Tagter and Toten. Basically, what I'm saying here is the Chaos is awesome. It's really worth playing. The new perk system works. The elixirs function well in it because they make sense lore-wise. The Aether, however, once again, it kind of shows Aether should have ended at the end of Revelations. It just kept dipping further downhill. It just didn't go well. Look, I loved it. I loved Aether back in the day. However, at the end of the day, Chaos is what really shines here, and that's why it's higher than the previous two. Because I've spent so long on Chaos. I got to fucking Prestige 1, I reset. I'm currently about Prestige 4 on the game, and most of that time was spent in both Chaos and also I use Blood for hard leveling because it's easy to level in. But most of it's in Chaos, doing speed runs, messing around. I've played so many hours of Ancient Evil, it's insane. Seriously, Black Ops 4 was not as bad as a lot of people make it out for. However, the Aether story is a hard pass for anyone who wants to get an enjoyable experience. Don't touch that. Chaos, however, is an awesome new fresh take on the classic Treyarch formula and 100% worth your time looking into. Coming in at number 5 is the one that's going to piss off a few people, I reckon. Is Call of Duty Black Ops 1. I know. Black Ops 1, how is it this low? Let me explain. Black Ops 1 and I have a weird relationship. I like it a lot. I've got quite a few problems with it overall. And I don't really overall, it's just that compared to what's left, it doesn't really measure up for me. Black Ops 1 is probably what you would call the most refined Treyarch experience as a whole, and that is true. The most fun, however, that's a bit further down the track. The gameplay is incredibly smoothed out. It's taken all the clunkiness from World at War and just got rid of it, improved upon it. The melee feels great now. The shooting is terrific. The zombies feel very responsive. The hitboxes are well designed. The maps, we had Kino de Tolan on launch, a fan favourite. We had 5, which we don't talk about. Had to have one bad one, of course. We had Ascension, which introduced the Easter egg, which has become a staple in zombies nowadays. Followed up by Call of the Dead, which is an absolute classic. We love Call of the Dead. And it was remade, as is like every map though, to be fair. Then we had Shangri-La, one of the hardest maps in zombies history, without a doubt. And I loved it for it. And then followed up by Moon, which also came along with all of our World at War maps remastered correctly and well done. It was incredible. And the story started to take shape. The characters had to actually be able to get really developed. I know I haven't talked on story in the previous entries because it really seems that it fell to the side. But in Black Ops 1, it was there, intriguing, drawing people in, getting them ready for what was to come further down the line. It was incredible. Without a doubt, Black Ops 1 is an absolute masterpiece and still worth your time. As of today, definitely still worth your money. Love Black Ops 1, however, it just doesn't hold up. So that's why it just doesn't hold up with the rest of them, which is why it gets the number 5 spot. Coming in at number 4 is our first non-Treyarch experience, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. I really like Advanced Warfare. I know that not a lot of people agree with me on this one, and I understand why you don't. However, for me, I am a nut for challenging experience. AW provided a challenging experience in a way that I've never had before, in that it was completely unfair to the player, and I reveled in it. AW introduced alternate zombie types, which really spiced up the gameplay. It also added in exosuits to enhance your movement. And I know a lot of people complain about the tight corridor design of the maps with the double jumping. You meant to use the jump boost forward in those areas to maneuver around properly. The double jumping is for the larger areas, which I set out. I think it's actually rather well done. That's me though. And the EMZs, holy shit, the EMZs. Bro, when you get that exosuit turned off, you know you're fucked. You have to rely on your pure mechanical gun skill to get out of that situation. And it is a rush. Incredible. While AW didn't launch with zombies, it had it through its entire DLC season. Coming out with Outbreak, an awesome beginning with some new characters, really well acted too, funny, enjoyable. Followed by Infection, Burger Town was in that one, some sewers, introducing the boss type zombie, which was quite hard to beat. Then followed up by one of my favourites, Carrier. Holy shit, Carrier is a hard map, and I loved it. Including the Limbo gun as the fancy weapon, which would slice zombies in half, like a Limbo. It was awesome. And then finishing up with Descent, a nice conclusion for the story, wrapping it up, and also introducing the idea of there's bonus Easter eggs, a hardcore version of them to go ahead and do in the previous maps, so you could go back and do it again, which would later be adopted later on by Sledgehammer in their further title. It was awesome, challenging, fun, adaptive, engaging, and just it was fun. And it was good. It was what we needed after the train wreck that a lot of people found Ghost to be. Which, by the way, if you're wondering where Ghost would rank with Extinction, it'd probably be number 2 or number 3. But I'm not including it in this one because it's not zombies. But a lot of people were really craving zombies. And then we didn't get it initially on Advanced Warfare launch. We got a survival mode, which while it was fun and did have a zombies Easter egg at the end, wasn't really enough. But then they came through. And then they started building up their own zombies thing. Building it, growing it, getting familiar, testing the waters a bit, which would be used later on by them. And at the end, I think Sledgehammer excelled. For a first-time venture into the zombies formula, I really do think Sledgehammer nailed it. And No pun intended. Genuinely, it was really good. Coming in at number 3 is Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Oh boy, this one's fun. I almost put this lower than AW just because of the final map. We'll get to that when we get to that. However, at the end of the day, I've I've currently got approximately 140 hours on the game, not including the times I've closed app on many Easter egg runs, so I'm probably closer to 200 hours on Infinite Warfare Zombies. And I fucking love the game mode. IW Zombies is fun. That is the best way to describe it. Pure, unadulterated fun. You launch with Zombies in Spaceland, an 80s theme park style. You running, gunning, this awesome aesthetic, these big lights, the Hoth, music. Oh, it was awesome. An Easter egg, which was, yeah, okay, that was a bit further down the line in terms of quality, but that was besides the point. It was fun. I spent hours playing in Spaceland, just killing shit again. I didn't get that in Black Ops 3. I got bored if I wasn't doing the Easter egg because the map design wasn't intuitive, but Spaceland was. Then you followed up with Rave, which was a nice, cool 80s slasher vibe to it, which was really appreciated by me as a massive horror buff. Just this awesome theme. The Rave mode, the slasher was cool as fuck. An Easter egg that, while simplistic and easier to do, was quite fun overall. A boss fight, which was kind of cool. But then we moved into Shell and Shuffle, one of my favourites, because my team took the lead for about 2 hours in the hunt, and it was awesome. Fighting through the ninja monks, learning about the egg, having Pam Grier there, doing kung fu, getting a fucking katana as the reward for the Easter egg. That is incredible. Then after that, we went a bit of downhill with Attack of the Radioactive Thing. I didn't mind it. Elvira was a nice touch as a, again, horror buff. Elvira is always nice to see. I will always appreciate that. However, the rest of the map fell through a little bit. Mr. Krabs was an interesting fight, but a lot of the stuff there was a bit, yeah, and the palette kind of fell through. But still, the map design was quite well done, and the weapons were interesting still. Then we finished up with Beast from Beyond, which butchered Extinction's storyline in a way that it can never recover from. Although I'm pretty sure even the devs considered that shit fanfic. And an egg that was quite challenging, but not fair. But then there was more. Legit, it was legit a. But wait, there's more, because guess what? If you beat all the Easter eggs, you got Director's Cut mode, which allowed you to spawn into the maps every perk, 25 grand. The Magic Wheel had every weapon packed, and the Wonder Weapons in there. It was awesome. And then if you did the egg all again, you got the verse Mephistopheles, to probably to this day the best design of a boss fight in Zombies. Tough, hard, mechanically focused, but overall actually fair. If you knew what you were doing, you could beat him quite easily with a competent team. If you had no idea, you'd go in and die instantly. And guess what? IW Infinity War this is weren't done. They added in a boss fight mode. You could go do the boss fights and practice them in there. Different scenarios, perk layouts, weapon setups, everything. And microtransaction wise, which I haven't brought up for a little bit because there wasn't really anything to talk about before, the Fate and Fortune cards are excellent, well balanced, well designed, easy to earn, nice and fair. It was incredible. And they had variants too, but guess what? They worked well for the zombies mode. I love this game mode, I really do, and it deserves its spot at number 3 without a doubt in my mind. Even though Beast from Beyond really hurt its credibility, it's got so much good going for it that I'm so sad that Infinity Ward didn't continue it in Modern Warfare. I really feel more zombies would have done them good. With that said, though, let's move on to the top 2, and this is where people are going to get really antsy on seeing what's taking number 1. So, coming in the number 2 position is Call of Duty Black Ops 2. I love this game. I really do. Black Ops 2 is, in my opinion, Treyarch's best work. It is fun, challenging, rewarding, and enjoyable. The story is incredible for both the Victus, Mob, and Origins. The map design is incredible, excluding Die Rise. I don't like Die Rise map design, but the rest of them are really good. The Wonder Weapons are cool and unique, really fun. The specialized equipment in some of the maps was really cool and unique as well. It was enjoyable. The mini bosses were well designed. They were fun to verse. The Easter eggs were complex and hard, but that's what you wanted. Look, I don't know what I can say, but other than that, Mob of the Dead is my favorite map of all time, and that alone gets it there for me. Origins is up there in my top 10. Most of Black Ops 2's content I find incredible. And guess what? It didn't suffer from microtransactions or shit like that to make profit because they knew the quality was there. The amount of content you got from it was worthwhile. It was fun. It was engaging. They had the turned game mode, which was so much fun. I didn't talk about the other game modes in Black Ops 4 because I found them insignificant. But turned was engaging. It was a really enjoyable experience. Seriously, worth your time. Now, coming in at the number one position as the best zombies title to date, Call of Duty World War II. Oh boy! That's gonna piss off a few people. Let me explain myself before we get into this. Call of Duty World War II hits my niche perfectly. I love realism and I love challenge. Guess what? It has both of it in bounds. Throw on top a sprinkle of well-designed horror. Oh, you got me. Let's start this off. Final Reich is my second favorite map of all time. Mob of the Dead just beats it. Final Reich is well designed, it's well balanced, it has two Easter eggs for you to do, one casual, one hardcore, an easy to understand pack-a-punch, awesome wonder weapons with 4 elemental variants to upgrade into, a really intriguing boss design, also specialized zombie types which are well balanced. Final Reich is amazing. Then we followed through with, guess what? We had Ghost and House, a traditional take back to the survival aspect, a small building, almost reminiscent of Narked. You had to survive the best you could with the very limited resources you had. Getting the high rounds on that was incredibly hard. Did I also mention the prologue earlier? Because yeah, there's that. There's a prologue for the story, which taught you the mechanics of the game. Great for new players, which could then snowball them into the casual Easter egg. Followed up with the next release of The Darkest Shore, a gritty, hard map with a new enemy type that was so freaky that you had to duck in and out of sight, avoid it the best you could, listen for it, using the fog to hide from other zombies while also taking care of the Musula. Incredibly well designed. Then we went to the Shattered Throne, set in Berlin, war torn. We were fighting for victory against Straub, the enemy. By the way, I'm not going to talk too much of the story, otherwise I'll babble on for ages. I'll save it for the World War II in retrospective. And we fought through, beating him at his own game. We got the final part for Barbarossa's sword in that map, which was an awesome blade. Many melee weapons to mess around with, a wonder weapon, a really enjoyable Easter egg, and a tough boss fight. Followed through with the Tortured Path, one of the most unique zombie experiences to date. With 3 maps you would fight your way through, going for the survival aspect if you wanted to, or if you wanted to go to the next level, you could go ahead and try and do the Easter eggs on each of them, which required you to do 10 round segments, beating each of the Easter eggs in that time period in one run through. So hard and challenging that I still haven't done to this day, and it is so enjoyable. Replayability. And then they decided to, guess what? All of those maps also had their own survival variants. So you could just get a box, you get a pack, and you could just play the games to the survival points. Perfect. And then it rounded it out with the Frozen Dawn. 4 epic melee weapons, a masterfully done boss fight, and an epic ending to this crazy story, which is open to more down the future. World War II hits all my boxes. And it is the best mode. I've had the most fun on the mode. I have played the mode the most likely. Actually, no, probably not. Black Ops 2 probably got a bit more, but I'm drawing there. I cannot express just how much I love this mode. And it is the one that I recommend you try the most, definitely. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. There's no point talking the microtransactions on that one because they're very minor and not really worth getting into. And the customization and stuff, I want to save that stuff for future down the video when it's a retrospective video. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. I know it was a bit of a long one, but I felt that this is the first part of a new mini-series, so might as well get into it. So here's the thing. The next episode of this will be going at World at War in a retrospective look. That'll be coming out sometime soon. That'll be an in-depth examination of Water Wars mechanics, the maps, and so forth, and we'll slowly go through each of the zombies modes before rounding out the year with our final video. I want to thank you so much for watching this video, especially if you stuck to the end. I know that my opinions are very, very abrasive and controversial in type. However, I hope you can understand why my thoughts are like this. And I want to see what you guys like the most. What is your favourite zombies mode? Tell me, I'm curious. And tell me why it is. Explain its reasons. And tell me, yeah, and so I can maybe take that into account. Or maybe I've already factored that into it. I don't know. I'll try to respond to every comment like I usually do. And other than that, please like the video if you enjoyed it. Please dislike it if you didn't like it, and also leave a comment on how to improve. And until the next video, guys, peace.